Good evening, guys. My name is Jeff Thomas. I'm the executive sous chef at La Bodega in Leawood. I'm going to be making a Paella Primavera con Pollo, which is spring vegetables and chicken. I roasted the chicken with coffee and cumin, and I took the broth from that, which is also going to be the base for the rice that we're going to cook. And Ethan here is going to be helping me. So we're going to start with some chorizo sausage. This is a Bilbao sausage. It's a pork and beef mixture. Typically, I would be making paella on this burner out here. We have to have an open flame under the hood system, so I'm going to tell you quickly about it. It's a propane burner. It's something that we imported from Spain. It's fantastic because it has concentric circles, which makes for really nice even heating on this giant Captain America shield that we cook our paellas in. But we're going to use these 4 burners here tonight and just do our best with it and try not to burn anything. So we're going to render out a lot of the flavor from the sausage, the chorizo. Also, it's going to give the pan a nice coat so that nothing sticks to it. Unfortunately, there's nothing fast about paella. It takes about an hour to do it. There's nothing quick about it. You just get to stand and stir. Kind of like making risotto. So the next thing I'm going to do, since I have my chicken already cooked, I'm going to add my rice. I'm going to stir it into the oil so that it doesn't clump. I'm going to get some oil on it. This is called bomba rice. It's from the northern region of Spain. It's a short grain rice, very similar to risotto. That doesn't quite work. Gonna add my roasted chicken. I cooked this off the other day. Took a little bit of cumin, salt, pepper, fresh garlic, a little bit of fresh thyme and oregano, and some fresh ground coffee. Rubbed it all down, roasted it off, and I took the remaining juice and broth, and that's going to be our liquid that we're going to cook the rice with. Now my next ingredient is Sofrito. This is something that we make at La Bodega. We came up with this as an alternative to making sauteed onions, peppers, and whatnot. It's a good base. Something that I'm actually working on, growing the products locally and eventually getting out to the public so you guys can have it. Basically it's roasted onions, tomatoes, and bell peppers, and it's stewed together for about 3 hours. So you got really nice caramelized concentration of flavor. It's one of my pride and joys. So we're gonna add the broth, kind of get all this rice going and boiling. Turn up the heat a little bit. Stir. I just want to kind of rotate where the burners are. It's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
And then you kind of want to just even it out and let it go for a little bit, kind of let everything start to come up and simmer. Just good. So once we get this up and simmering, I'm going to add some fresh vegetables to it. We're just going to let it cook out. Should take about 20 minutes or so. And I'm going to finish it with a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon, some parsley, a little paprika. I'm gonna throw in a little saffron right now. Give it the traditional Spanish flavor. A little turmeric as well. You always want to season as you cook, so a little salt and pepper here, a little salt and pepper there. Kind of build your flavors together. Tastes good. Pardon? Correct. I had a little bit of just some homemade chicken stock to it to fill up the volume because obviously paella rice is in kilograms. So I usually use, your basic 2-to-1 ratio. So I did 2 kilograms of rice, so 4 liters of water. Yes. And what's the ring? And when this is finished, we're going to carry this pan across the way and you guys can taste this as well. So we will be in the local foods room, correct. Let's go ahead and spin 100. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit.
So at La Bodega, you're cooking in this size portion?
No, sir.
No, I know. So again, you're cooking smaller.
This is the pans that we use when we do our paella challenges during the summer seasons, which will be coming up soon. So if
So La Bodega, is this size you're cooking in?
yes, and typically a pan of paella is for 2. Most of the concept of Spanish cuisine is tapas and sharing. There's a family concept of that. So I'm going to chop up a little asparagus. I've got some spinach, some artichoke hearts. We're just going to. Our rice is starting to develop a little bit of gluten right now. It's not gluten, it's the starch is starting to come out. So I want to get it in there so all those flavors come together. You know, it's just going to get heavier. Pardon? We don't have paella on our brunch menu, but if you come in and request it, obviously, we'll make paella for you. Thanks, Mom. Who got me started in cooking when I was a kid anyway? So thanks, Mom. Sí. Which is Spanish for yes. Are you having fun?
Oh yeah.
Good. Pardon? Why did I get into culinary school? Because I wanted to be an artist and musician, and those professions weren't paying well, so I figured this way I would never go hungry. Why Spanish? I've actually cooked a lot of different cuisines. I worked at North. I was a chef in Alaska for a while. I was a personal chef for Reverend Billy Graham for a brief bit of time. I worked at the Biltmore Estate. I went to Johnson & Wales in Charleston, South Carolina. Graduated in '97. And the nice thing to me about cooking is that it's a skill that you can take anywhere you go. You can travel anywhere in the world, and as long as you master your craft and your trade, you're able to have something that's, sustainable. You can put a roof over your head, you can have food, share camaraderie with new people, make friends. It's let's move this guy a little bit. That's heavy as hell, isn't it? Pardon? I have not studied in Spain. That's actually my planned vacation this year. Provided I get approved time off from work. It's looking good.
Hello, test. So we do have a microphone. So if anybody has a specific question in the back for Chef, please just raise your hand. I'll come bring you the mic.
The fun thing about making paella is that you constantly have to adjust the heat. You want to bring things to a boil, and then you want to cool them back down and let them simmer, and then you don't want to burn it. The goal is to it's called sucre, which is a nice golden brown on the bottom. It's almost like having the perfect pizza crust. And then you want to steam the top. Like if we were doing clams, shrimp, mussels, we'd put those on at the very end. We'd cover this in foil and let them steam as the bottom finishes and makes that crust. The nice thing about the burner is that it does it very evenly. So as we have just these 4 flames, we're trying to rotate this and make sure we don't have too many hot spots and burn it. But ready to turn again?
Yep.
All right. Yep. Question in the front, please.
Yes. So, even now that you've done this, do you want to go to learn how to make paella and go to work in a Spanish restaurant?
Possibly.
Chef, how long does it take to normally cook paella?
A pan about this size to cook is roughly an hour, start to finish.
And are you constantly stirring, or are there points when you're letting it rest to create that bottom you talked about?
We're gonna let it rest towards the end once the rice actually plumps and develops. That's when you want to let that sucre happen on the bottom.
So stirring until toward the end of the cooking.
Very similar to risotto. You want to higher heat, constant stirring, and then you're going to, like I said, at the very end, turn the heat down and let it just kind of steam and finish, but it makes that nice caramelized bottom.
So where can we get one of your rigs?
Pardon?
Where can we get one if we want one for our own home use?
Well, they sell paella pans all over the internet. This we actually imported from Spain, and the Captain America shield as well.
So we can order it online.
Correct. I'm pretty sure you can pick up paella pans though through Restaurant Depot and whatnot, but an outfit like this.
And it's gas. You hook it up to gas.
This hooks up to a propane tank, just like your home grill does.
And what's the diameter of the pan you're using?
I believe this is a 3-foot diameter pan.
Is it traditional?
Pardon?
Traditionally 3 feet? Is that a normal large paella pan? Do you know?
You know, we have several different sizes. The ones we use at the restaurant are a foot wide. I have some 16-inch, some 18-inch. We have this one, and I've actually seen online some 6-handled pans that takes a village to move it.
Yeah,
And
so it would
feeds a
take 6
village.
people to move. Got it.
Ready to go?
Any questions from anybody in the audience? I can come run. Excuse me, Mom.
We didn't catch which vegetables you put at the end. I see the asparagus, but what were the other spring vegetables you put in there?
I
Other
can't hear
spring
you, hon, I'm
vegetables
sorry.
you put in there. She's wondering what the vegetables were.
Well, the base is my sofrito that I make. Okay, I've got asparagus tips. I've got some artichoke hearts, and I'm gonna finish with some fresh chopped spinach.
They want to know when they're going to eat. I'll be blunt. When is chow time?
Let me check the rice. $10, 15 minutes? You gonna wait? Okay.
And you guys are going to move this pan to one of the
We're
classrooms?
gonna carry it up the stairs, across the hall to the local foods room. All right. For he and I to carry it? Nah. We're good. All right, buddy. Tired? I know which one to do is you want to pull the top back over. And push the sides in. So I was just explaining to Ethan, one of the techniques you want to do, you want to pull your center out and push your sides back in. So you have constant rotation. It's getting close. I said it's getting close.
Getting close.
Yeah. Yeah, take one, kind of roll. There you go. So you got your cooked.
Okay, chef, so what are the hallmarks of when paella would be done? How do you know when paella is done?
How do you know when it's done? Well, very similar to rice cookery. When you see the rice plump and you start to see the moisture completely absorbed, you have those little holes where the bubbles are coming up. At that point, I'm going to turn off the heat. Even though I'm not doing seafood, I'm still going to cover it and let it steam for a minute, just to finish like you would eat any sort of rice.
So basically, when the rice is done, the dish is done.
Correct. Turn the heat down just a little bit because we're getting close. You're ready? Good deal. How are you, chef? Good. We're actually taking this across the way. So we're gonna need more than this. We're gonna need like a couple scoops or something. Would you mind looking that up for me? Thank you. Pardon?
Roast the chicken, do you slightly undercook it so that it's, since you're cooking it quite a bit in the rice?
I did not undercook the chicken since it was for an event for the public. Classically, I would actually start with raw chicken. I would season it in the pan and cook that and build the flavors. But for the purposes of working today and then traveling with it, I went ahead and pre-roasted it. Plus, it builds a nice flavor profile.
So if you're starting raw, do you still use the coffee and spices?
For my seasoning, I did for this particular dish. Again, that's the neat thing about paella, like any other thing, is you can put whatever you want in it. It's a rice casserole if you think about it.
So the question was,
I'm going to turn the heat down just a hair.
I just want to repeat the question for everybody. So she asked basically if he brought cooked with raw meat or had brought pre-cooked chicken. And the answer was he basically brought pre-cooked chicken because he was traveling today, and this is a catered event, obviously. So normally he would start with raw chicken in the pan. Okay, so we have a question about whether you made the sausage yourself or cooked the sausage before.
The sausage that I brought is actually something that we import from Spain for the restaurant. It's not something that you can buy locally in town. Our U.S. Foods is our purveyor. There are a few places in town that carry similar product.
Is there a sausage that you could substitute that you would recommend for home cooks?
Well, the last paella challenge I did was with Jasper. He did a house-made Italian sausage, which had a really nice flavor. The fennel and whatnot. Basically, you're just wanting to render the fat from it to get a little bit of flavor in it. It's not a main ingredient in the dish. Like, It's more or less the oil is to help the grains of rice from sticking together and becoming a solid, so it moves fluidly.
So Italian sausage can substitute.
Italian sausage, I mean, you could use.
Is it a spicy sausage?
You could do andouille sausage. There are all sorts of options there. We're gonna carry the big
Yes.
pan across the way.
So for anybody who's wondering if they're going to get a chance to taste Jeff's paella, when he finishes it, it will move over to one of the culinary kitchens and will be available to taste. So the answer is yes.
About 2 cups of water, maybe. Yeah. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and finish with our fresh chopped spinach. Get this cooked up in there. It's a lot of spinach, I know, but it cooks down. And just a tiny bit of liquid to it.
Did you win your paella challenge against Jasper?
I did.
Surely there's a special title you're given.
Believe it or not, the wonderful chef that's following me, Ms. Debbie Gold, beat my boss at the first paella challenge.
And she's following you tonight as well.
Well, I wouldn't quite say following.
I mean, in
We're
cooking.
friends on Facebook, though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, cooking. In cooking.
Correct.
Tonight.
Chronologically. And we will be starting up the paella challenges as soon as the weather's open. We get the garage doors open at La Bodega again.
Are you going to continue to flop them back and forth
Pardon?
from one location to the other? Are you still
Yes, we
flopping
are. One
back and-
month to the next. We'll be at one location and then the other.
I think I was a judge at one of them, and it was absolutely delicious.
You were, just that's why you look familiar.
I enjoyed every bite.
All right, let's go ahead and grab the foil. We're going to cover this bad boy up. I'm going to finish this up with a little paprika on top, just to give it a little Spanish color and flavor. And we're going to turn the burners off and let this steam. Other way. The shining side conducts heat. I'm gonna grab a towel so you might help clean up for now. So we're gonna let this finish up for just a few minutes, steaming under the foil. We're gonna clean up and then move our paella across the way. And you guys can taste it. Anybody got any questions?
Any other questions for Jeff? Jeff Thomas, everyone.
Thank you.
Paella perfectionist.